Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you how I transformed this very old book that is falling apart into a soft spine cover like this one that's gonna be for my scientist book. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm finally ready, I think, to start working on my scientist journal that I've been wanting to make for a while now, and I decided that I'm going to use this book to make the cover. It is an organic chemistry book, so it is a science book, and it's in pretty bad condition, but it's not as old as I thought it was. It's from 1956. So today I want to start working on the cover. I don't know how far I'm gonna get. I'm hoping I can finish it. I probably showed it to you already. But I have no idea how to do this. I've never used a book to make a cover, and I cannot use the spine because this is the spine. It fell apart. And so I'm just gonna use the panels. I've watched a few videos, tutorials on how to make a soft spine cover using book covers. So I think I'm gonna do something like that, but I'm gonna modify it a little bit. So the first thing we need to do is to gut the book. I think that's how you say it. And basically I'm just gonna cut this cover, like this page here that it's attached to the cover, with my craft knife, and I think we can get the whole block of pages out with not much work. So I'm actually gonna do it like this. Oh no, I'm going into the cover. Okay, I have to do it. Okay, this is harder than what I thought it would be. Where is it? When I've seen it done, it looks so easy, but I guess there's another layer here. I'm gonna go this way. Okay, so there is like a mesh material in here. Yeah, this thing. And it has a lot of glue, so it's very hard to cut, but I did it. Okay, so I have one panel, and we're gonna clean that up. And now the other cover. So I'm just gonna go, oh, I guess it's easier if I go here and I cut through the mesh. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that mesh in there. So I'm gonna cut through that mesh. I'm guessing different books are bound differently and they use different materials. This is very interesting. Okay, so I have my two covers and I have the whole block. Like I can keep this as is. I'm sure I'm gonna use some of these pages for my journal. I love that it has notes. So that, you know, it belonged to someone and that person used it. Oh, and there is handwritten notes in here. Yeah, this is cool. I don't feel bad taking this book apart because, as you can see, it is in horrible condition, and I rescued it from going to the recycling or the trash. So I'm giving it a second life. There's a lot of debris now here, which is probably not gonna be good for my allergies. So now let's clean this. Can I remove this whole page? I don't know if I want to remove this whole page because I'm afraid that I'm gonna damage the integrity of the panel. As you can see, the points are not in great condition, the ends here. So I don't want to put too much stress on it. I guess I'm just gonna go this way and trim And then we get that page out that I'm gonna put with the rest of the book. And then we have more of that mesh fabric. Interesting. So the next one, I've been thinking, do I want to use the spine for something? I'm not sure. Maybe I will. I'm not sure. So I guess same idea. I'm gonna just cut through here. So I'm gonna grab my ruler now, and I'm just gonna continue cleaning this edge here. Just I want to make sure that I'm doing it in a straight line. Okay, so now it looks pretty clean. So I got rid of all of that. Ooh, this is exciting. I'm gonna do the same with the other one. Okay, that's pretty much clean. And I'm going to get rid of all of this. Oh my god. Okay, I opened my window. Oops. Just in case this is not something I should be breathing. And I'm gonna have to clean this whole mess here. So now we have to decide what we're gonna do with the covers. I actually don't want to color them. I want this to be shown because it is the scientist's journal, but I am going to put corners, metal corners. I'm going to do that at the end, and I want to use this fabric that I recently bought. I bought it at Walmart. It was very cheap. It's just a small piece of fabric, and I like that it has some scripts, some writing, if you can see, and also it has flowers and butterflies. So it's like, I don't know, it could be like letters, but I don't know, it could also be a scientist's notebook, someone who studies insects and plants. My scientist, the owner of this journal, is a general scientist. She studies everything, so yeah, why not? That doesn't exist in real life, but why not? So I want to use this fabric to make the spine, but this is a very, very thin fabric, so it's not going to be sturdy enough as a spine. Even though I want to make a soft spine, it's going to be way too soft. So I'm thinking that I'll use a little bit of this ocean theme one, or more like nautical theme, that I've shown you before, and this one's gonna go in the inside of the spine, and this is more like a canvas. It's a thicker fabric, so that would give it more structure, but it's still not enough structure. So I think I also want to use some packaging. I have these envelopes, but it's a very thick paper, because I was thinking to use some sort of cardboard, maybe this thing that I have from Kiwis that I saved it. It's not like a hard cardboard, but I'm thinking this will work better. So let's start working with this, because I'm gonna use this to glue the back of my cover. I'll show you. So I'm gonna start by just trimming this to like cut it open. Wow, I don't know what glue they use, but oh my god, this is so thick. So maybe this is not gonna work like that. Okay, I'm gonna speed this process up. You don't need to see me trying to open an envelope. Okay, this bottom part that it's glued and it's kind of double, it's so sturdy, but probably too hard. I think I'm gonna save it. It's probably too hard for what I want. Oh, look at that. Can I rip this off? Okay. Wow, this is great paper. It feels so good, like I want to paint on it because it feels very good. So I need to figure out what the size of my spine is gonna be. With this, you can make it as wide as you want because you don't have the actual spine. But I'm thinking maybe the size of the actual spine is something that I want to do, which is 3.8 centimeters, which is 1.5 inch. So yeah, I think a 1.5 inch spine is good. So let me turn my mat to the inch side. I'm gonna work in inches today. So I want to put my cover apart because then I need 3 squares, right? Like that. Yeah, that's perfect. So I'm gonna use those guides. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut this paper a little bit wider than that, maybe like 1 inch on each side. I'm gonna mark here where I want to cut it. This doesn't have to be even because then we're gonna cover it. Okay, and then how tall is this? I want this to be as tall as my cover. So the cover is actually 9.25. Okay, let's cut it there. Okay, so now you need to make sure your covers are on the right orientation because I'm afraid that I'm gonna mess that up. So I'm gonna set them apart like this. Oh, making sure they're also even in the height part. And I'm gonna glue this in here. Okay, so before I glue it, I'm going to score where I want this to bend so then that it's easier. And also it would guide me where I need to add the glue. Does that make sense? And I'm gonna use, you can use like PVA glue or school glue for this. I'm gonna use my art glitter glue, a lot of it. I'm gonna put it in here. We'll fix all the imperfections later. I'm just pushing, making sure this is very well glued. And it looks like it is. And I think I'm gonna need more glue here. Okay, now the other side. My glue is leaking. And I need a tiny bit of glue on this side as well. Okay, so that we have the main structure for our cover. And then I'm gonna use this fabric to cover the back. But before we do that, I think I want to work in the inside cover. I want to make a collage here. Let's do that quickly using the pages from the book. Oh, why not? Let's use the one that have the, look at this old printer paper. Okay, let's see. Let's use some of the reactions. I'm having a lot of memories of organic chemistry. It looks so fun. And now I'm having second thoughts. Do I want to tear this book apart? Well, this one. Let's do this one. Ooh, they're sulfur compounds. Would that be enough? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's tear some paper randomly. Well, I can tell that these pages are very old. They're so easy to tear. And you can see how aged the edge of the pages is. So I normally cut that just to leave the text, but I really like how that looks. I'm not gonna cut it. And I'm not gonna ink these papers either. Okay, so I'm gonna randomize my cuts. Are some of them too big? I don't know. And I'm gonna use Mod Podge for this. So let's start putting Mod Podge around here. Yeah, I'm not gonna cover the green border, so I'm gonna try to stay away from that. This is too big. It's just gonna be hard. Well, I think I can always cut the excess. So I'm gonna add Mod Podge on the back of the paper and just put it there. Okay, I don't want to put paper where the spine is, so just around. And I don't need to cover that whole brown paper because I'm gonna cover it with I'm going to cover it with the fabric anyways. So just finished all of the edges. I'm using the straight edges of the paper to do that. And now I'm gonna start filling up the rest. Okay, I'm gonna give it an extra sealing. and we're done. This is gonna look very interesting. When it's dry, I'm gonna cut this excess here. I'm gonna let it dry, and now we're gonna work with the fabric for a little bit, and I need to remember to wash my brush. So for the inside fabric, so the spine is 1.5 inches, but we made the brown paper to be 1 extra inch on each side. So I think that's what I'm gonna cut, like that size. And this has a direction, so I need to figure out the direction of this fabric. I can do any of these smaller pieces, so I'm gonna trim it off. And I'm gonna save this. I love this so much. You know, I have a little bag for my journal mat that my mom made me with this fabric. I love it. So I'm gonna leave the fraying edge. We're gonna do it very grungy. I'm gonna cut it here. I think that's fine. So that I don't need the whole fabric here. There we go. I cut it horribly. I need 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm always afraid to work with fabric. I'm not so experimented in the fabric use in junk journals. Or any fabric use, to be honest. Okay, so how tall was this? I forgot. Because I don't need it to be taller than what I needed. Ooh, it's gonna look so cool. So we're gonna trim it here for the tall. And I also want the fraying edge. Kind of. Okay, so it's not fully dry, but I actually don't need it to be fully dry to glue this on. Should I stitch around so that it doesn't fray forever? Or is the glue gonna stop it? I do not know the answer to that. I think I am. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna take this to my sewing machine. Okay, so I did a double straight stitch, very wonky. You can't really see it because the the thread is the same color of the fabric. Oh, did I forget the second one here? Okay, I need a second one. Okay, I'll be back. You see it more on the back because my bobbin thread is gray, but my top one is cream. I'm gonna trim all this excess. Okay, I think it was a good idea because this side is fraying a lot. I don't want to end up with no fabric in a couple of years. So we're gonna glue it. I'm gonna use my, oops, sorry, I touched my microphone. I'm gonna use my fabric glue, and I'm just gonna add the glue directly. Is this gonna work? To the paper. Haven't used this glue in a while, so it's all clogged. There we go. Need more glue. Please, more glue, please. Okay, so I'm gonna use the same brush for the Mod Podge here to just spread my fabric glue. And I'm gonna put this with the seahorse in the middle. Maybe add some more glue here. I think for this journal, I'm gonna do like 3 signatures. Yeah, I think that's the plan. And now, so this is really hard to get out, so I'm just gonna do this. Now I have tons of glue. Probably too much. Oh, that was the dry part that wasn't allowing me to squeeze it out. I found it, so maybe I can squeeze it out now. So we're gonna glue this very well. Nice. Gonna add some at the top as well. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can squeeze it out now. This is Aleene's permanent fabric adhesive. It's actually really good. I bought it on a thrift store a while ago, but I've used it for my other journals with fabric and it holds up very well. I think the lid is dry as well. Maybe I need to add like a metal tip to this, like the art glitter glue. I don't know. So I'm gonna put some glue in here, and now we just do this. This actually looks super cute. I love this fabric, but we're not gonna see much of it because we're not gonna see the seahorse for sure, because we're gonna have our signatures in there. And I need to figure out a pocket situation for my front inside cover, but I haven't made ephemera for this journal yet, so there is no pocket yet in mine. Oh, look at that. So I'm just adding extra glue to be extra safe. But I think we're good. I think this is going to be a strong, soft cover. This is my first soft cover. I mean soft spine, if you didn't notice already. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So let's let this dry, and we're gonna do the same thing with my other fabric. Okay, so this is the one that's gonna go on the outside. And I know that I am going to cover part of the title, but I don't mind to cover some of it. I don't want to cover the whole thing, but maybe like that. Should we add something else to the cover? I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay, so what side do we like? Maybe this one. Okay. So I guess the same, like 4.5. I think it's 4.5 inches, the nine squares. So that's what we're gonna do. I am going to trim this edge off. Well, let me cut it on top first. And then be here. Okay. So I am going to cut the free edge here, the branding edge. This is, oh, if you want to see the name of the fabric, I just cut it. It's from Waverly and it's called Inspirations. And I bought it at Walmart for like $1. I don't know, something like that. It's less than 1 yard, so it was a very, very nice price. Let's figure the height. My question is, should I do the same with the sewing machine? I think I am going to do that. Okay, so I did the same thing, the 2 lines of wonky single stitch or straight stitch. I don't know if I like it. I think it would have looked better with black. This is how it looks with the gray. I don't know, but at least I hope it will prevent the fraying forever, which I'm afraid of. So this is not fully dry yet. Okay, so I'm gonna trim this excess collage paper here just to make it look cleaner, if it's gonna work. Okay, and we're gonna glue this one here now. Ooh, it's actually gonna look very pretty. The butterfly is gonna be in the middle, most of it. And yeah, and it doesn't fully cover the title. And I'm thinking I may add something here later, not today. I need to probably decide that once I make the ephemera for this journal, so to have an idea of what type of things I want for decoration. I have a rough idea of how I want my signatures to be, but I still don't know about the decorations fully. So on this part, I'm adding also glue to the edges of the panel. So that everything is very glued like that. Let's put the fabric on. So I'm gonna go with my knife and do this. I just want this fabric very well glued to the paper. Oh, I guess I was missing some glue here. That didn't glue. Okay. And now I'm gonna add the glue to the fabric. I think that's easier. Oh, this color goes very well with the green of the cover because the fabric is very thin, as I mentioned, and you can see some of the green coming through. Oh no, it's the fabric that has that green. That looks like it goes together. So it was a good choice. This ended up being a little bit longer. I may or may not trim it. Oh wow, this is cool. This is the inside, the back, and we're gonna see the butterfly and the flower on the spine. I am going to sew my signature, so I'm going to have, you know, the papers, not the papers, the threads here, but they're not gonna fully cover the butterfly, and I'll probably use like a white thread. But I think it's looking pretty good. Now I'm wondering if I do want to cover this part. I mean, I'm not gonna fully cover it, but maybe we can add a little bit more of the fabric, like a flower. or maybe a sticker. I don't know. I really need to think about that. But for now, this is what we are doing. I need to let it fully dry to continue working on it. But ooh, I'm excited. I've never made something like this, and it actually looks like it's gonna resist everything I put in there, because this is gonna be super glued. I'm gonna turn my mat to the black side to see how it looks with the contrast of the black. Yeah, so let me know, what do you think? Have you ever made a soft spine before using book cover? I really love how this looks like this. Also, let me know, should I cover this? There are some boo-boos in there. I really want to keep the integrity of this cover. I may just Mod Podge everything to seal it and protect it. Maybe I'll do like a cluster here. Let me know what you think of this cover, and stay tuned because I'm gonna continue working on this journal. Next time we'll probably finish the decorations and the pockets of the cover, and we're gonna start working on the signatures. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time soon. Bye.